Mr. Roth, the Yom Kippur edition.
The Yom Kippur edition, we have a lot to atone for. Probably some of us more than others, without a doubt. I doubt there will be any confessions on this podcast, though it probably should
Yeah,
at the
this would
very
be,
least.
a podcast sit down maybe in the future. We actually, a league member volunteers for recorded sit down could be an interesting experience.
I doubt anybody would volunteer for that,
That
quite
that that
frankly.
that's true. And quite frankly,
Yeah,
nobody's going to come up with everything that they need to atone for. So those of you who know those things that you've done, you know what to do, right?
you know what to do exactly, and just be honest.
That's right. And it is a serious holiday. So I do want to point something out that this is a game. We play it for fun. It's about grown men and fake stats based around grown men. And it doesn't take much in life until you see something like that happens to Amy Schulman that reminds us that this is a game, right? Life is serious. We do this because it fosters communication between us. It keeps us together. And life's really uncertain thing, and it throws punches all the time. And so I think it's a very good reminder that this is a game, right, Dave?
That's right. I was heartbroken to hear about Amy. My thoughts are with the whole Schulman family right now. I reached out to Mo. I know he's got his hands full right now. But we try to bring fun. This is also, along with keeping us together, this sort of supposed to be a little of escapism. And I think people take it a little too seriously on the text chain. I was trying to bring some fun to the douchebaggery
That's a
commission.
great term.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, people thought they were going to be handcuffed by it. Personally, I thought they were all being cowards because I'm willing to get fined on a regular basis. They have an old saying in a good trial attorney brings their toothbrush to court every day. You know why?
Why?
Because when the judge, so that way, when you get held in contempt, you have your toothbrush in the prison.
That's thinking ahead. I mean, you're preparing for the worst there, hoping you're not going to have to use that thing.
It's only happened once to me. Yeah.
And that the fact that it's even happened is unbelievable. But knowing you for as long as I've known you, I'm surprised maybe it only happened once.
Well, it was one of these things where the judge was ordering my client to produce things. I refused to comply. He held me in contempt and put me in the holding cell. Now, I will tell you, the holding cell would look better than my damn living room, quite frankly, in the federal courthouse.
It gets cleaned. It's nice. You get your three hots. As long as you have a decent cellmate, you're okay, right?
Exactly,
Right. But
exactly,
again,
exactly.
game. This is fun. People can be insulted. We love it. I think it was when something horrible like that happens, and the whole league, obviously, all our hearts went out to Mo and Amy and their family. I can only imagine what, Augie, little guy, and Ruby were going through being at home. That this is a
Yeah,
game. It is supposed to be fun. It can be frustrating. You get pissed at people, but it's not about, ruining friendships and not being together. It's about bringing us together. And I think that's really the end.
exactly,
So,
exactly,
all
exactly.
right. So I'm excited. This is our second show. I guess we got greenlit for some more podcasts. I wasn't sure which way we were going to go with the studio, but they kind of like what we did. So we'll just keep going with it. I like that you pulled out that what I love in Vegas, my sportsbook attire. The vest is fantastic, by the way, and sleeveless look is always the best for me. I think that's the way to do it.
It's not the best look for me, without question. My wife has indicated to me that I am not allowed to leave the house at any point with this vest on, or even in a suitcase.
All I can tell you is that when I think the Dragon was on with his wife, and I was in the background, we were in Vegas probably like a year or two ago, and I had that on with glasses, and I think it was 9 in the morning, and she sees me behind there because I waved at her, and she goes, "Are you drunk?" And and I was like, "Well, maybe from last night." She goes, "You're going to walk around like that?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, but in Vegas, it's anything goes. They have
I,
to realize that.
I
Yeah,
think so. And it just promotes our brand, the licensing. I think we need to trademark that, the logo, and maybe license it. And that way, maybe we can generate some league revenue. You handle the nonprofit status for the league, but if we trademark it, we start licensing, because I think every Jewish fraternity in America, just starters, should be utilizing it. We can generate revenue for the league. We'll have our annual board meeting in Vegas, pay for members to go, and then we can donate, the rest of the monies.
How would this not be a logo for ZBT? I mean, explain it to me. How would they
I'm
not?
saying
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
no-brainer. So I do think maybe we should work on trademarking, but let's put a pin in that because we want to admit
Mhm.
our very special guest for the show, and we're
I'm
so
so
excited to
excited.
have him. Dave, this was Dave's really, big guest that he brought in for this show from the production side. So looks like he's joining. We got him on. Is he coming on? Let's see.
And see
Let's
if he
get
knows
to,
how to
we got
work it
we
at
got
his age.
video, we got some sound. There he is, the NKOTB on the
What's up?
podcast. Caleb Schulman, welcome.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. I feel honored. How you
Uh,
doing?
well, we're honored to have you, just like you're honored to be on it. But where are you right now?
I'm back in Boston, just
You're
working from
back in
home.
Boston.
Yeah,
All right. So how's
All right.
how's living in Boston as opposed to, being on the West Coast?
it's been good. I woke up, went outside today, and it was about 45 degrees, so I didn't enjoy that. But it's gonna take some getting used to these next couple
You,
months.
you, you know that's considered warm in Boston, so
I
you,
know.
you better girdle those balls up and get ready for the winter, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope you got your
it's gonna be
clothes.
a lot of staying inside and watching football this winter for me.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
uh,
I was talking to Dragon. He said like one year they had a really rough winter, the other was mild. So who knows what you're going to get? I think
hmm
the change of seasons back there is fantastic. So,
yeah.
experiencing fall.
So this is your first year in the league, officially in the league. What are your
hmm
initial thoughts about the league? About playing in a no bench league? What challenges do you see? And and some general comments about some of the other teams.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, the draft is just such an ultimate high. It's like coming down from that and waiting for the season. It's just like feels like everything gets it's just pent up, just waiting for opening kickoff that first Thursday night. No bench league. It's been weird, gonna be honest, because like you can like if you have someone like for say like rookies, like they tend to start slow and build up. You can't just like stash them because you're pretty much giving away games. You can't have guys not perform on your team early on. You're just giving away wins and it doesn't really work in the long haul. So it's kind of who you want to keep, who you think's actually worth keeping, and then I mean. I think it helps with the injuries too. I think we've seen no one's really gone unscathed from the big injuries so far up to this point of the season, and it kind of helps that there's so many guys available. I mean, everything seems up for grabs. Like, I don't think anyone's in. I don't think anyone's out. There's so much left in the season. It's going to really come down to who manages their team and who makes the right ads at certain times. But I actually have the rosters pulled up on my other monitor during this, so I'm looking at everyone else's team. I appreciate that my dad has picked up both guys that I dropped today, so that was
That makes you feel
gave
good,
me
right?
gave me a good
Makes
chuckle.
you feel good. It could be a sign of desperation or something that your dad's trying to do, and say it's showing up. Your
Yeah.
dad's trying to show you up and teach you the ropes here.
I mean, I would be surprised if any of them are still on his roster come Sunday morning, but
That's a good observation.
That's good. It's a very good observation.
but
Yes.
there's
You
a
know, we call this the no stashing league because there's no bench, but really it is not a no stashing league. You're still allowed to stash your weed and your cash, buddy.
Yeah, I learned that one in Vegas. There's
All right, so
a lot of stacked rosters though, I will say that.
I was going to say, what did you think about like the rosters are stacked, but you can't take a week off in the Griffle, and that's why sometimes
hmm
knowing like it's hard because you don't know when to pull the plug on maybe a guy you drafted high, and it's week 3 or 4, and you're like, I may have to make a move here, right? Like and drop somebody you would never consider dropping in another league.
Yeah, I mean, I just dropped Chase Brown and I took him, what, that was fourth round, one of those. And like,
Yeah.
and he's off my team now. Like, he's just, I think without Burrow, it just doesn't seem worth having. But yeah, like and this is my first bye week experience now. I luckily don't have any bye weeks yet, but I'm seeing everybody has their bye weeks. They're picking up new guys. So a couple guys who would be available normally aren't. So it's going to be a learning experience with that also as all the bye weeks start to come because I know I have a couple heavy bye weeks later in the season.
Yeah, there's different theories. Do you stash all your a lot of your bye week players in 1 week, or do you
hmm
want to spread it out? I think that might be the case in some bench leagues, but in this league, I mean, what are the league in week 4? Do you pick up for my example, Keenan Allen in the first round of the waivers as the last waiver pick? No other league can you do that.
Yeah. No, exactly. And then, like, I know in this league more than ever, more than any other league, there's the division matchups mean a lot. So, like I haven't gone through and checked my schedule, but I just hope one of those big bye weeks don't come on a big divisional matchup when it comes down to it, fighting for a playoff spot.
What do you think about the text chain here? This is your first season on the text chain. There's
Yeah.
clearly a lot of lack of focus by certain managers. But tell us your thoughts
Or
on the text chain.
consistency of message from other managers, right? Like the
Well,
same
well,
message
yeah,
over
that's
and
a whole
over.
nother discussion. Yes.
I think this week especially it's been eventful. There's been fines, then there's been no fines, then there's been kind of fines, big breakfast talk. But there's never a lack of messages, I will say that. Being abroad in a different country, waking up to about 200 plus texts, especially on football days, gave me something to do as I was getting out of bed, reading through. But people are just passionate about it. It's a passionate group chat. Some people get their feelings heard. There's people vie for certain teams, may not make other people happy. Um, for example, I mean, my dad won't even let Uncle Larry cheer for the Dodgers anymore, even though his Braves
It's
are
the
out of the
band.
playoffs.
Won't even let him. Yeah.
Now, do you have any idea of who Joey roots for?
I think almost everyone, right? Except for the Red Sox.
Great answer. It's everyone.
It is everyone. I just have no idea where Joey's coming from. I'm not even sure what state Joey's in right now, quite frankly. So
Yeah.
so today is the Day of Atonement, Caleb.
hmm
Not in the serious context, but in the context of fantasy sports. What are you willing to atone for today?
In fantasy context, probably drafting terrible running backs. Neither of the guys I drafted are on my roster anymore. And probably overdrafting Brock Bowers and not knowing that I had to trust a guy on the Raiders.
Wow, that hurts right here, buddy. Right here.
That's
I
an
Right
had
honest
here.
to. I
assessment. That's
had to
honest.
after I had to watch them win in person. I had to take a shot.
Yeah, that's that. I understand completely. I
All right.
understand
So,
completely.
Caleb, we want to do something fun here. And
hmm
we want to, it's old school. You probably remember, even guys in this league might remember something we call match game. So,
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions. And the answers to those questions can be any team member in the Griffle, including yourself. You can use yourself as an answer. Now, I
Okay.
have prepped Dave already with the 5 questions, and he has written down his answers. So I'm going to ask you the question. We're going to see what
hmm
your answer is, and we're going to see if we can get a match to Dave and how many we're going to get. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and if you can't fail the test, it's not one of these pass or fails. Ready? So the first question is which league, I got to take my glass, which league member is the biggest diva in the league?
I would say Colo.
Dave, what was your
Uh,
answer?
Mav.
Oh my God. Okay, fine. Fair enough. We don't have a match. Good answers, boys, but not a match. All right. I can accept that. All right. Question number 2. And again, this is based off your limited experience, but you have experience now in Vegas, obviously being
hmm
with us, not just as a member, but in Vegas in general. What league member spends the most time in the bathroom in Vegas draft?
Hmm. See, I don't know if this one feels skewed almost with the whole bathroom situation. It was can I
Actually, I
answer?
didn't even put that in as the thought process, but I'm glad you picked up on it.
Bathroom gate. Bathroom
Can
gate.
I can I
Bathroom gate.
2025.
answer? Can I answer with the person who was most involved in the bathroom?
You can. It's your answer. You answer whatever you
I'll
want.
go with Uncle Larry because
Uncle Larry
he was
is the
very
answer.
Uncle
concerned.
Larry. All right. Well, this will take some time for you to understand. But the bathroom dog award always goes to 3.0.
3.0.
Well, see, also he
Yeah,
wasn't there the whole time also, so
That's
yes.
that's
true.
Well,
fair.
so half the Colorado River drains when he is in Vegas due to the number of showers he takes on a daily basis in Vegas.
All right. So that was number 2. We don't have a match on that one. All right. The third one. Which Griffle member drafts purely on last year's stats? The complete rear view mirror rule.
My dad, he's a name guy only.
So the
He
answer
doesn't
to
even
question
know
number
half the
3 is
names.
Mo. Dave, do we have a match?
No, we do not.
Dragon. Oh, the
Dragon.
rattling of the papers back when we had papers, right? There was
That's
nobody that
right.
rattled them more than the dragon. All
Not at
right. All
all.
right.
No one's closer than that. Your dad at least has some projections. Your dad loves some
Mhm.
new names. He likes to pull rabbits out of the hat.
He does
Dragon,
not have any new names. He told me, he goes, the main reason why I took Gibbs is because last year at the end of the season, all I remember is him scoring a touchdown every other play.
He did rip it up at the end of the year. Well, and
Yeah.
he also, I would say, magazines are also probably his aid of choice. We're just not sure, which magazine. We'll figure that out so we can plant one. All right,
Mhm.
number 4. This is a good one. Which Griffel member is most likely to be fined by the NFL for egregious use of the waiver wire?
Let's see. Trying to think how it's gone so far this year.
I know it's a limited experience. That's why it's
the
kind of nice
limited
to have a new
experience.
perspective. Whereas Dave's he's the veteran, so I wanted to kind of both perspectives here.
Honestly, I would say this is because I've been impressed with who he's added so far. I think he's just had some bad luck, but I would go with Colo again.
Colo, all right, Colo.
Hello.
You actually look at that in a positive way. I'm looking at more as you're
I think
flipping it around, but
I think his hand has been forced to go to the waiver wire, but
fair enough.
I think he's hit on a few of his pickups so far.
Well,
Dave, what do we got?
no, there's no question. It's me. I mean, I'm well known to I'm well known to pick up 12 players on the waiver wire and hold them for 24 hours, but before releasing the appropriate amount.
And all kickers too, probably.
Oh
Or
yeah,
tight
oh
ends.
yeah, absolutely, yes.
Don't
All
you
right.
have you have the same exact team you drafted pretty much.
Oh yeah, this is this year. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is this year. Yeah.
All right. So this is the kind of funny insulting one we're building up to. So if the Griffle was a sitcom, which Griffle team is the running gag that always gets left in the dust at the end of the episode? And it doesn't have to be for losing, it just be in general.
Uh, hmm.
Because we kind of are like a sitcom if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with Dragon, honestly.
Dragon. Wow. All right.
Mhm.
Now, I bet you we
Wow.
don't have a match here, because I think I know what
We
Dave's
do
team.
not. So first I wrote down Fred. But I had to cross
Then we
his
call
name
this the
off.
Charlie Brown Award, right?
Yes, yes. And then I put down another name, Mark. But then I had to pull that name off of. So the current member of the Charlie Brown Award goes to Colo.
Colo, Charlie Brown, Colo, as he's better now. Wow. So Colo got a couple answers in there. That was
Well,
awesome.
given the fact that Colo's entire team is in the emergency room right now, yeah, he's been left in the
He's
dust.
the running gag, right? Not by
Yeah.
choice, but unfortunately, he's getting Charlie Brown left and right.
That's
Mhm.
right.
All right, we love you, Colo. All right, well, Caleb, thanks for being on as the guest. We love having you in the league. I can't tell you personally how much it means to me, and I'm sure
Yes.
to everybody else. It's you were the right fit. I'm glad you said yes. Obviously, we could have gone another way, but you were the right guy to be here. So we love having you. We love you, and we look forward to hopefully kicking your ass this season a little bit.
Thank
Absolutely.
you guys so much.
All right.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for having me. And easy fast to anyone who is observing.
And if you have a
Thank you.
colonoscopy tomorrow, smart for fasting the day before and combining it with Yom Kippur, right?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, later,
All right.
buddy. Take care.
Thank you guys.
You
Yeah.
got it.
See you.
All
What a
right,
great
Matt.
guest.
So, what a great guest! And he's so soft spoken and so insightful. He's going to be a great addition and probably the future commissioner of this league.
There's no question. It's just such a great guy. Really is.
Yep.
So
what are you going to atone for this year? What are you going to atone for, Mav?
I think I'm going to atone for not keeping my eye on losing focus a little bit. I don't think I'm as well focused. I think I've been scattered, and I'm starting to bring it back. I'm just hoping it's not too late. But I think I was focused in Vegas, but I don't think my focus has been fully here. And so normally that's not like me. You know me. I'm
Yep.
fucking coming in like a laser, and it doesn't feel right. So I've got to fix that. And so
All right.
I'm gonna speak to the people in charge and say, hopefully they're okay with that. I can clean my slate for the next year. What about you?
Very good. Well, I think I brought the wrong attitude into the league this year. I tried to be the steady guy at the draft, and
You
I
did a
tried
phenomenal
to be,
job. By the way,
Well,
that was great.
Thank you. And I've tried to bring some fun into the text messages. I'm going to atone for that. That was clearly not me. It was clearly a mistake. So I think, I'm really going to work on being a bigger asshole on the text messages the rest of the year.
I think that would spice things up a little bit and take pressure off of other people who are continually assholes, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
We
exactly.
won't say any names. All right. So before we kind of wrap it up, we did a lot of football there, kind of reverse we did last time. I want to shift, because it's baseball playoffs, to baseball real quick, right? And so we all love baseball. Dave, give me your since the problem is, I wanted, if we had done this a couple of days ago, I was going to ask you some different questions because none of the games had started yet. But since they've already started and some things have happened, give me what you think has been your biggest surprise, or what you think will be your biggest surprise. Like, could be a team, could be something coming down the pike. And what do you think is going to be most disappointing about the playoffs?
I think the biggest disappointment will be for anybody rooting for an American League team. They're no match for any of the teams in the National League. They will all be disappointed, whether you're a Sox fan, a Yankees fan, whatever, Guardians fan, Detroit fan. They're really just no match for any of the teams in the National League. I think the surprise is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers. Obviously, they're a solid team. They're going to give the Dodgers a bit of a run for their money. I think if you're a Phillies fan, you be prepared to be swept.
Wow, because that's Dodgers Phillies next, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Prepared to be set. I'm not surprised the Dodgers are going to turn it on in the playoffs. I was a little concerned that they were lulled to sleep during the regular season, but they've clearly awoken, and they are a very dangerous team. I'm going to predict, well, I'm not going to make any predictions for the World Series, but I think those are my two answers there.
Well, I think, it's interesting you bring Milwaukee because they haven't been in it since '82. And if they somehow got to, like, who would be rooting against Milwaukee, right? I mean, they're just one of those teams that have been out of it so long, you have no reason to hate them, right?
Well, it would just be Yankee fans, Red Sox fans, Dodger fans, and Cubs fans, the four most hated teams, other than the Astros, of course, in baseball.
That's true. That's a good point. It's just funny you still have those teams, even like if the Mariners made it to make it, like, it's been just so long. I don't think there's any animosity towards any of those teams. You'd almost be rooting for them if you didn't really have, your heart with one of the other teams you mentioned, right?
Here's a question. There's another team that hasn't made it in the World Series and has never won a World Series that nobody seems to actually want to win, and that would be the San Diego Padres.
Well, no, they made it. They got swept in, was it 98?
98, yes.
Right? That was the last time they were there, right?
Yeah, that's right. So nobody's feeling nobody's particularly interested to watch them go on to the World Series, I think. If you ask me, I'd rather see the Dodgers than the Padres in the World Series.
I like their stadium better than I like the team. How's that? I like Petco Park better than I like the team.
There's nothing better than going out and a bunch of brewery tents out in the center field. That makes your day right there.
It's fantastic.
Little micro brews are always good during a baseball game.
All right. We're going to wrap this up so that people can get back to their fasting and their day. Any last parting messages to the Griffle?
Keep your heads up, but mostly everyone send your thoughts, your prayers, and your love to Mo. That's all that matters right now.
That's right. League-wide love going the way it should be towards Mo, Amy, and the family. We're there for you.
Yep.
We're thinking about you. So peace.
Absolutely.
Next week, hopefully we'll see you. Take care. See you.
All right.